firstly going to the event, and it was just having that full-on belief that like I can do this, and I gave it everything. Like, I know like a lot of people are doing 90-day game plans towards the end of the year, or you may have been doing one for coming up to Barcelona, or you may like start one like whenever it is. But when you do commit to a 90-day game plan, for it to work, it has to be every single day, and you have to go full on. And like, I know people don't like really like the word full on. You think, oh my God, am I working 24 hours a day? You're not working 24 hours a day, but you have to give it everything. Like, you have to give it 100%, otherwise it doesn't pay off. Like, you'll give up at like day 57 or something because you're not going all in. So I went all in, and obviously it paid off because I hit I don't know how many, like 4 or 5 promotions in like 90 days, which was ridiculous. Hang on, sorry, my little boy's being really annoying. No, you need to go away. Okay, go and see her. Sorry, he was like poking his head round again and again. Anyway, so I had success really quickly, but the things I was doing, I implemented into my business, which is what changed it. Was I started doing events, even though I was just like fairly new to the business and I was only SDD. That was what everyone else was doing, so I was like, well, I need to do that too. And as much as like speaking in public was not something I wanted to do, it was something I needed to do for my business to then grow. I was on every single conference call. I was on, if Sinead told me to do something, I did it. I was at every event. I put on my own events. I was like the most teachable person, and what I was told to do, I did. And then I teach that to my team, and that's what grew my team so quickly. So I had success quick. What it done for me personally was like, I just completely changed my life. So before joining, I was on benefits. Okay, Archie, you can see I'm working. They don't understand. Like, he's like, I remember he went to school once. This is really awkward. It was like, so what does your mummy do for work? Like, when you say what your mum and dad do, and he was like, she does late night videos on the computer. I was like, what? I was like, well, is that what you told them? And they were like, yeah. I was like, please don't tell them that. That sounds so wrong. So yeah, that wasn't bad. But he doesn't get it. He's like, what do you mean you work? I was like, well, I'm working on my phone. Anyway, I'm going off track. Yeah, so what is that? I was on benefits. Within 3 months of being with the business, I completely came off all benefits, and I was paying for everything myself. I may not have been like rolling in it, but the fact I was paying for everything myself meant the world to me. That's all I ever wanted to be able to do. And it literally, like, that was my big goal coming into it. And then it was to get Archie a garden. And a year into the business, we moved from our flat to our house. And like, I remember just crying my eyes out when I hit NMD, crying my eyes out when I moved into a house, because these were things that I had always wanted, but they seemed so out of reach. But I felt like I really did deserve it, because I knew the work I had put in. And I'm so grateful for this business. Like, 5 years on, like, everything I did in those 90 days, in that 90-day game plan, I'm still thankful for now, because I'm still living the life I am now because of those initial 90 days. So it's literally one 90-day period can literally change your whole life forever. So yeah, I mean, obviously, like, the materialistic stuff is fab, but that's not like the be all and end all. Like, what this business can give you is the fact that for the last 5 years, every single day I've chosen where I work, when I work, and that in itself, that freedom is insane. Like, I'm so thankful for that, and I don't know any other business like it. And what else? There's so much has happened in 5 years. Like, obviously the travel, I think it's just the people you meet. They just make it the best journey ever. And knowing that you can, obviously we all come into this with our own goals, which you should have, but knowing you can share that with others and potentially change other people's lives, like, that's just the best feeling in the world. Like, it's amazing doing it yourself, but then if you bring someone else on and they come off benefits, or they buy their house, or they clear all their debt, whatever it is, especially this time of year coming up to Christmas, knowing you can change a family's Christmas because you offered the opportunity to them now, like, that's why we do this, and that's the best feeling. I feel like I'm going off track. So, Amy, do you want to ask me any questions?
Yeah, no, that's good. It's really hard to like condense like 5 years.
I'm like, what have I done?
Obviously, guys, like if anybody's got any questions as we go for Georgina, then just obviously stick them in the chat as well. But I didn't like, it's really interesting that you say that you're on benefits before, because I think that a lot of us speak to some people sometimes and they're worried about starting the business because they are on benefits. Like, how did you find that at the start?
So I was it was like the worst time of my life, and like I absolutely hated it, and it was something like I never really spoke about, and it took me a long time to speak about it because I felt like I was too proud, even though like I had like it come out the other side and had come off it. I just still didn't like talking about it because it wasn't something that I ever wanted. I don't think anyone grows up and thinks, oh, I'm going to be on benefits when I'm older. Like, that's not a goal. That's not anyone's dream. So when it becomes your reality, you feel like, for me, I felt like I had failed. And even more so, I felt like I failed my son. So, yeah, I didn't need to slam the door. I don't know. I think because I had success fairly quickly, I didn't really have to think about it. I remember going. It was like I went to like a back to work interview or something. Cause like Archie was like coming up, like he was 2 or something, and they were like, "Oh, you need to look at jobs." I was like, "I've looked at jobs. Like I'm going to be earning like £50 after I paid for childcare." And then I was like, "But I have just started like Net Juice Plus," and they were like, "Okay, we'll see you soon." Then I was like, "No, you won't see me ever again." Really wound me up. I was like, "Right, that's it." She never saw me again. But I probably came off it very prematurely, but that's just me. I had that was my goal. As soon as I saw like my bank was £1,000, but that was it. I came off everything. That's me not knowing how the business would have gone, but I suppose it was, for me, it was the best thing I could have done because it made me work even harder. So in those terms, I don't really know how it works because I didn't really go down that route. I just literally came off it within 3 months, which I know you've got 3 months to declare what you're doing and what you're earning anyway. So for me, it worked out. But yeah, I suppose if you want to if you were in that situation and you I think it's just a choice. You decide to either stay as you are or you commit to your future.
I think it's about like, you know, you're either in or you're out, isn't it? There's not really any difference in this business. Like you've got to run and jump into that pool and just learn how to swim, isn't you? Like,
yeah, I think it's just it is a matter of just making a choice, and when you decide in your head like that's what you're going to do, I think there's nothing stopping you really. You've just got to commit. But I mean, if I can do it, anyone can do it because there's nothing special. I just really, really wanted a different life.
Yeah, 100%. And I think as well, guys, like what we can do is we can like, if any of us are ever speaking to someone that is on benefits and they, you know, they do want to start the business and they do want to get off the benefits, then we can just simply share Georgina's story. So like you can literally just document Georgina's story in your head, and then you can share that with the next person that you speak to that is on benefits, and just share Georgina's story and what she's done to inspire them that they can do the same. So that's amazing that you've done that. Like you've come from that, and just, you know, that's just incredible. So I wanted to ask you like your 90-day game plan that you did at the start, which was just incredible to like build up that much momentum and, you know, to achieve that. And this is the thing, this business is all about building momentum, isn't it? And just doing the simple things daily, consistently. Like a lot of people always sort of say to me like, what's the secret? Like, what are you doing? It's like, well, it's just working hard day in, day out, isn't it? Like,
what's the secret? It's working. That's the secret. You can go all in and work every single day, and it doesn't have to be like 9 to 5. That they're not the hours. You just work like 2 hours or whatever, but in those hours you are so committed and you're being so productive and you're actually getting stuff done, and that is the difference. I mean, you can spend 5 hours, but if you're scrolling on your Facebook and not actually doing anything, then you're going to feel like you're working, but you're not doing anything, so you're not going to see the results. It's better to use an hour or 2 hours of your day, but give it everything and be so productive. Literally break down that hour into like 10-minute or 15-minute segments and know exactly what you're doing, and it will fly by, but you'll know that you've got so much done in that hour, and you'll feel so much better going to sleep every night knowing you've like work today, you've worked on your future, and your future self will thank you for what you've done now. And it all compounds. Like, if like, yeah, just 90 days of 100% commitment daily can change everything. I love a 90-day game plan.
Yeah.
Like, I am the biggest believer in that 90 days can change your life, because obviously it did change my life. And it's weird when I like tell people outside of business, like, if I'm like, it was just 90 days, 90 days changed my life, and they're like, okay, but it did. And it's just about making, I think once you've just had that little moment in your head and like something clicks and you're like, enough is enough, I want more, I'm going to do this, I deserve more, I deserve a better life. And it's weird because it's working hard, but it's so easy. You're not outside in the rain building a house, like that's hard graft. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that. But this is work from wherever you want, like in bed, in the coffee shop, wherever you want. You just, that's it. It's so easy, and it can change your whole life.
100%. I love that. And it's so true. Like, you know, 90-day game plans have changed my life and my business as well, and it's just so true. And like weekends as well, it's kind of easy. Sometimes people think, oh, I work like Monday to Friday on my business, but then I have the weekend off. Like, how important is the weekend? Like, what, you know, because if you have like the weekend off your business for a month, that is like a whole week out of your 90-day game plan.
Yeah, and like, you can't have a day off in the 90 days. That's not an option, because you're going to have to restart, and you're putting yourself back. And it's quite a sad reality, but you could be putting yourself back a year, 2 years. Like, that's how much of an impact it can have, because you've gone off course and you're not committed anymore. But on the weekend, more people are online, so it's even more important. And again, you don't have to be the whole of your weekend on your phone. Just network with people, speak to people, and have your power hour every day where you are genuinely getting stuff done, and that is it. Then enjoy the rest of your weekend, but show up every day without fail. Yeah,
just get the basics done. No, I love that. And like you say, at the weekend, there's a great chance to go out and network and, you know, socialize and actually get offline. I think that's also really important. And like, you know, get to events. Like you mentioned how important events were in your 90-day game plan. And again,
events change everything to me. So obviously Facebook is a massive tool. It's really good for sharing social proof and like sharing your event on your Facebook, because then it reaches out to more people, and then the people that weren't there, they get like FOMO, they wish they were there, they turn up at the next one. And sometimes it's just the aftermath on Facebook, but you need something to show. And people want to know that there's more to our business than just sitting at home on your phone, because that's not that appealing. Like, people on the dole do that. Like, that's what I used to do, that, doing it, sitting there watching, playing Candy Crush. Like, it weren't a fab life, and that's not that appealing. So if you're social and you're going to nice places, and like it's a random Wednesday night and you're out somewhere nice, people are going to be like, well, why is that your job? Why do you get to do that? Why can't I do that? And people want to be a part of something. And that's why you need to show that there's more. And that's why when we have the big events, I always recruit loads afterwards, because people are like, well, why do you get to do that? Like, after Barcelona, I know I'm going to recruit those people, because they're going to be jealous.
100%. And I think as well, when I first went to like my first abroad conference, like, it was like my Facebook took me seriously. They were like, oh, like, this is a real thing. Like you say, it gives you social proof. And, you know, and then that's where I really built my team more, because of the big conference that I went to. So I'm like, isn't that exciting after Barcelona?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, obviously we love the convention, but I also like the aftermath, because I know I'm going to do really well with recruiting and business, and it always has an impact on my business, always. So yeah, I just think I just make it fun, make it insight. Like, what intrigued you in the first place to join? Like, you joined for a reason. You need to be sharing that with others. And like, if it was any other sort of job, like, why would you want to join? You need to make this appealing to others. And yeah, I share a lot of lifestyle, not in like a braggy way or things like that, or like material. I don't really do that, but I share the whole, I suppose, freedom side of things, like the fact that I can like go out, like meet friends, like we do loads of like coffee mornings and things like that. And to be fair, that's where a lot of people, like, a lot of interest comes from, because people just want to be part of something.
So how would you, if you've got a new team member that is like obviously still working full time, how would you help them to like promote obviously the free? I guess they just do it in their evenings. They
do it in the evenings, yeah. So I've got a lot of people that work full time, and to be fair, I find the full time workers do really well, because they have to be really strict on the, like, they basically only really actually have a few hours because they're at work. So when they do work, they only get stuff done and that's it. So they do really well in the business, because they have to be productive in the time they have. But they do evenings, just evening events, which is, I suppose, like if you work full time, you'd go for like drinks after work or whatever anyway, and they just
or even coffee after work, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. And they just use that time to either do events and then networking. So I just think it doesn't matter what your circumstances are, whether you work, whether you don't work, like you can make time for this business if you really want to, because working on this for like 2 to 5 years can change your life for the ever and ever, or 90 days.
So I get so excited. I love it. So like I would love to like ask like how you find like fitting this business in like around like being a mum, and you know like the daily struggles of being a mum. And obviously I know that you were pregnant as well. Like,
yeah, so I've got obviously when I first started, I just had Archie, and now I've got Isla as well, who's, oh my god, she's absolutely nuts. Like, she's not a normal kid. Like, I had parenting so easy, and then she came along and I'm like, are you joking? Now I know what parenting really is. But yeah, so I just think you have to be disciplined. You know what? I always say this, our business is so easy. The only thing that's hard is that you are your own boss. No one's going to tell you what to do all the time. And you're the one that has to be disciplined. Honestly, that's the hardest thing.
yeah.
So apart from that, it's easy. You just have to be very disciplined on yourself. So like, I'm now very strict. Like during school hours, like obviously I work, in the evenings I work, but during the hours of 3 till 8, I don't work. Like, I'm mum, I picked up Archie from school, it's dinner time, it's bath time, it's story time, it's all of that. Whereas before, I have been guilty of like just ignoring. This sounds awful. And just on my phone, and like you have to find like your happy medium, and like just be really strict on the hours. Give yourself set hours, work in those hours, and then that's it. Otherwise, it's just going to consume your life and it become overwhelming. And then you don't want that either. Like, you want to enjoy what you're doing, and you also, like, a lot of us, if we're mums, we joined for our kids. So don't ignore your kids.
Yeah, that's so true. And like, I love, you know, it is so true, like having your set hours, and like when you're on your phone, make sure that you're being productive.
Yeah, don't just scroll. Like, that's what everyone else is doing, and they're not earning money. Like, you're on there for a reason. Make it like be productive that time.
And then I love how you have like a set time where then like your mum, and then like you're not, you know, that's when you're not on your phone, and I like that. And then obviously if that's something that you do, then I'm sure that all your team know that between those hours, or people start to know that, all right, she's
wrong. I like replying to the odd message, but I won't, like, that's only if I like go to look at the phone, like check the time or whatever, and if it's urgent I'll answer it. Otherwise, like, you can get me after 8. I'll be there then. But, it works. And like, then during the day, like, depending if Isla's at school, she's just started nursery, so obviously I've got more time. And then if she's asleep, I can do stuff. But then obviously I still want to be with her as well. She's only 1, so yeah.
No, that's so good.
Find what works for you, and it's going to be different for everyone because we all have different lives. But you'll know what times you can commit to the business. A lot of people do the 7-11 club, so from 7 in the evening to 11 in the evening, that's their like hustling hours. That's when they work. Instead of watching EastEnders, they'll be working. And it's just making those. I don't really think EastEnders is a sacrifice, but it's just making the choice of what you want to do. But yeah, there's a question. Can you talk through a typical event you would do? Okay, so when I was doing my 90-day game plan at the beginning, it was very much, I'd find a nice bar and I'd go through the whole, we'd have like product presentation, business presentation, but it was very much the mingling after where like the magic happens. Like, that's when you talk to people. That's when like you can like really get to know a person, they can get to know you, they realise that you're real, you're sincere, like, and then I think if they can just hear the excitement in your voice. And honestly, I think a lot of the time it's just how you say things. If you're excited, it's going to come off well, and then they're going to want to be a part of it. So yeah, I'm very big on venue. So I like the place to look nice. So it just looked nice. So, but this is just, if it was me, that would grab me. And I think you've got to think about what you would like. So I very much like do stuff like events. Everything is what would attract me, and it's worked for the last 5 years. Because I just think if I would like that, then other people are going to like it. So if you know you would like something, this would intrigue you, other people are going to like it as well. So yeah, just think about like what sort of event you would like to go to, make it fun, so I always done like shakes and like cute little cocktails and made them look really pretty. I'll send you some pictures of like my events so you can see how I've done them. But yeah, I think it was just a talking point of people wanting to come along because they looked good. They didn't even know what it was. They were just like, yeah, I'll come.
It's about being consistent with doing them, isn't it? Like, did you ever have?
Yeah, so I was doing them at least every fortnight. This was in the 90 days. Sometime, I think it was probably weekly when I was doing the 90 days, which was very full on. Archie was only 2, and I was driving here, there, and everywhere, and dropping him off to my mum's, and like I was doing them all over London, and it was a big commitment. But at the end of the day, like 5 years later, those 90 days I'm still so thankful for, because it changed everything. And then it's 90 days out of your life, and then you can go on to like once a month, but you need big momentum in the 90 days for it to work. But then obviously that's where momentum comes, because you're excited, people are going to these events, and you can do online ones as well, but I've just been face-to-face is more powerful. And yeah, and then you'll be recruiting, you'll recruit a team, your team start doing the same, they recruit, and then that's momentum. Then it just goes nuts and you can't control it. But that's what you want.
Exactly.
So it's another question. Any tips on invite? I would just, to be honest, this was after, when I started events, it was after my going to my first big convention. And honestly, the excitement was so genuine. I literally was like, I'm sharing this with everyone. And I did not care. I would literally speak to everyone. And I invited literally my whole Facebook, everyone I knew. I would text everyone. Like, I would just invite everyone, because I genuinely was like, this is the best thing ever. So I think, yeah, just don't care. Like, and don't assume someone's not going to be interested. I've done that a lot, and people are interested. So don't let your own like opinions, like your made up opinions of what you think someone's going to think before you've even spoke to them, stop you from sharing. Just speak to everyone, because at the end of the day, you don't know who's going to say yes, you don't know who needs this, and you don't know whose life you could potentially be changing by offering it to them. So just be really proud of the fact you can offer this to so many people. And get your team to do the same if you have a team already. And yeah, just if you've got a team already, even better, like link up, like start planning events, start getting really excited about how you can put them on.
That's really good. So did you do like event every week locally, or like you said you're going like around London, so were you doing like?
Yeah, so when I first started, a lot of my team was West London based, so I would do like local bars, then I took it into Central, because I was just like getting a bit cocky. I was like, oh, I'm taking over Central now. But yeah, I just liked, if I could find a cute venue, I'd go there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it seemed to work, but I did, who I recruited then like got behind me and wanted to do it too, and it made it easier. So yeah, but obviously it does start with you, and you have to do the first daunting move of getting up there and putting yourself out your comfort zone. But like, that's the best thing you'll ever do, is get out of your comfort zone and just do it.
Because like when you said that obviously Sinead doesn't live anywhere near you, so you had to like do your events on your own, didn't you, at the start?
Yeah, so she came to my first one. She did travel down, and I had teamed up with a few other London-based reps, so it was quite a big event, my first one. And I remember like she was like, start it then. I was like, okay. And I literally just walked on. I was like, hi, and I just walked off. I was like, Sinead, I didn't say anything. I had down so much wine as well to try and do it, and I just couldn't do it. But so she did come to my first one. Not that I done a lot. But then obviously I saw how she'd done it, and I then had the confidence to go on and do my own. But yeah, she lived up in Manchester, I lived in London. Like, she couldn't come down every week for me. I had to do it myself.
Yeah.
But that was probably a good thing in a way. Like, I didn't ever rely on Sinead. I just got on and done it.
Mm-hmm. And that's very similar to me. I know that Katie came to my first event, and then then she turned up. She was like, "Right, Amy, like, you'll speak about this and that," and I was like, "What?" And then, you know, but then from then on, I then like just very similar to you. Then I just then carried on doing my own. So I think that's really good. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think sometimes like you just have to be thrown in at the deep end and just get on with it. And like, you never know what it will turn into. What's your next best thing to events if you're physically unable to host online events?
Yeah.
You can't physically host like online opportunity calls every single week. So like this, but inviting people to listen, and like you sharing a story, get a guest speaker or whatever it is. That would be my next, because I do them as well. Because some people, it's just convenience, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But I think if you can get people to an event, and yeah, it's just fun for the social proof of our business that there's more to it. We don't just all sit on a little screen every night.
No, I totally agree. That's really good, Georgina. So can you just talk a little bit about like the importance of recruiting and like actually building a team? Like, obviously, if you want to go far in this business, obviously you have to have a team. So like, what do you say to your team like early on about recruiting? And
I always say don't wait. Like, I mean, I recruited in my 2nd month, so I wasn't like really, really late. But if I knew what I knew now, I would have recruited the same day I joined. Like,
yeah,
recruitment is huge. You cannot build a business in anything, not just like this. Like, think of any company. It's not just them. It's a whole team. Like, there's like loads of people at different levels. You need a team to build a business. And this is exactly the same. You cannot, I mean, you can only get SDD on your own. You physically need a team, and it's not fun on your own. I remember when I was doing it on my own, I was like, oh yeah, it's all right. Got a little business. When I had a team, I was like, I have a business. Like, this is amazing. And it is, you bring people on and they become your friends, and you see their life change. And honestly, I just don't, that's why, like, obviously, I love what it's done for me, but I will stay in this business for the people and the fact I get to change more and more lives. And that's why I will be doing this forever, because I know I can impact more people. So yeah, I just think I love recruiting. It's my favourite part of the business. I love bringing on someone new. I love knowing like this can change their life if they were willing to work as well. Not always the case. Sometimes we want it for others more than they want it for themselves, and that's just a harsh reality sometimes. But once you get over that, like you will find the diamonds, you will find the people that genuinely want this and are happy to work, and yeah, they will change their life, and that's why we do this. So yeah, recruitment's huge. You need a team. If you're scared to recruit, I would just put a different spin on it and don't see it about how it's going to benefit you. Think about how it's going to benefit all those people you're offering it to. And that was the best thing I could have done, to be fair, because I was like, I remember when like Sinead was like, oh, are you going to like think about recruiting? I was like, no, people are just going to think I want them for me to benefit myself. And she was like, oh. I was like, I can't do that. I don't want people thinking I just want them for money. And I was like, so no, I won't recruit. She's like, why are you looking at it like that? I was like, because that's what they're going to think. And it's not what they're going to think. Like, they're going to see it as a business opportunity. So I was letting my own thoughts impact my potential. And then when I put a different spin on it, I was like, right, can obviously change my life. I can help change other people's. And then I just got so passionate about bringing people on for them and it changing their lives. And I've had girls like me come off benefits. I've had girls buy their first car all on themselves. I've had girls buy their house. Like, I say girls, it is mainly a team of girls, but it's the best feeling ever. And like, if I had kept it all to myself and been selfish, like, I would never have been able to do that. So yeah. Just put a different spin on it. Be really, really proud of the fact that you can share this with the whole world.
Yeah, I love that. I know we've just got a few more minutes left, and I don't want to take up too much more of Georgina's time, but you've got a couple more questions in the chat, Georgina.
Okay, so 5 tips for recruiting. Write a list. Best thing I could ever have done was write a list. I literally wrote a list of anyone I could think of that I thought would benefit or be interested, or people I just knew. Like go through your Facebook, go through like it might take you a while to come up with a list, but then you've got this list to work with daily. So if like Amy says to you, write mini task, message 10 people at the business, you've got a list to go to and you know what to do. And it just makes your life easier. You can keep track. I just think a list of potentials I made a list from literally like my first week. I had a list of people. Sorry, he's been really annoying. Next, so list, babe, I'm with him. Just do what you're told to do. Like if you're told to get on a call, get on a call. And invite everyone, all your people in your list to like opportunity calls. Next, just do an event. Even if you're scared, like you'll thank yourself afterwards. Keep sharing the business, because I think sometimes we can get so caught up with like sharing the products and plans, people don't actually know there's a business. So share the business just as much as you're sharing the products. And yeah, I think just be really proud, talk to everyone. Like don't ever assume someone's gonna not be interested. It's the worst thing you can do. Like the more people you speak to, yeah, you're gonna get no's, but then you're gonna get more people signs. So just don't be scared. Archie, are you joking? You need to go away. Just putting on a jacket, you should be asleep. It's so annoying.
No, they're really good tips. Thank you so much. I know that Louise is asking, what do you call your events?
Oh my goodness, I'm not happy with you. What do I call them? Oh, depends who I'm trying to attract. So my branding for like business, so is called Girl Gang. That's so I've got my page and I mainly promote it through like the business side of things. I've got another page for products that I'm going to like overcomplicate things now. You don't have to do that. That's just me. So it depends who I'm trying to attract. So if it was like young girls, like so sort of like 18 to 30 age group, I'd promote it under Girl Gang. Then if I wanted like more just like mums, I'd promote it a bit differently. I'll send you like some of my posters and you can see like how I've done it. Otherwise I think I'm going to complicate things, but I very much like branding. Like I just love it. I really enjoy it. So coming up with like names and stuff for events, I've always kind of like enjoyed. But I think the way to do it is just think about who your target audience is and then go from there, and then you'll kind of figure out how you can brand your events. But you can literally come up with a whole like mini movement and like come up with like an event like structure, and yeah, just have fun with it.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Georgina. Like, you've been amazing tonight. So guys, can we all just say thank you to Georgina, because we're going to let her go now.
Yeah, and look after my little children.
So everyone just say thank you to Georgina. And
you're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Thank you so much. We'll let you go. And yeah, we'll see you in Barcelona.
Yes, I'll see you in Barcelona. Thanks for having me. Bye, girls.
Bye.